Okay, so let's talk about police brutality. So first off, let's talk about their elitist mentality. So I have a strong belief that once they are, bestowed upon the badge and the gun and sworn on an oath, that somewhere along these lines, a superiority complex is developed. I think after, arresting a man or woman or any such person, a person, after arresting such person and they feel that, sense of domination over an individual, it becomes an addiction. It becomes this sensation that comes over them. And it's not all cops, of course. I'm talking about the cops that fit this psychological profile. And that's the thing. When I'm speaking about cops who fit these profiles that I'm discussing. So in this elitist mentality, somebody who has these characteristics that this sadist like thrill off of abusing their authority, and so that I believe feeds into this other concept of retaliation. I feel like when people don't comply 100% to their liking, or they feel a little bit of disrespect, or their authority is being challenged, they respond with the ultimate retaliation. And this is problematic because they're supposed to be the best of us. They're keepers of the peace. They're peace officers. So therefore, they are supposed to be the very best of what we have to offer of society. So if they're just as bad as the layman who's gonna retaliate when they're angry, then maybe we need to rethink about the way that we are hiring and the process in which we are using to hire these individuals, and maybe even the rigorous mental training that needs to happen on these individuals. And so, we get into these moments where, there's excessive force because he's not complying, or I told him to put his hands behind his back, or I told him to keep his hands on the wheel, you know, in this overt response, this heat of passion response is unnecessary because in reality they're supposed to be the very best of us. And so that's my problem with them, is because are they the elite or are they not? Because if they are so elite, then why is it that then we still encounter these issues? But if they are not elite, then they're like us, and why should they be privileged to have these special rights, to be essentially above the law, you know? And so this also contributes this elitist culture, this sense of, being a part of this this fraternity. You begin to develop almost a gang like culture, a mafioso type culture where you cover up for one another. Creates this blue silence, if you will. And so this all contributes to a negative culture. And so if you're a cop and you're idly standing by as this conduct is happening around you, are you still a good cop? That's the question. If this mafioso like mentality is existing around you and you're not partaking in it, but you acknowledge that it's there, and along with you've seen retaliation happen in front of you, or you've seen somebody express their or abuse their authority and you do nothing about it, you are part of the problem. You are part of the problem, especially now when we need good cops to speak up more than ever. There's nothing being said. There's plenty of investigations happening into departments all the time, but why don't we hear about them? It's like almost as if the media wants to keep them as the suits in shining armor, but keepers of the peace they are no more because of the civil unrest. And that's why if there's civil unrest happening, the people need to be heard, and the people are demanding police reform. And so in another video, I'll get into reform and how the reform, what it's going to look like. But essentially, these characteristics combined together build up a toxic environment for the police, and it's essentially what leads to excessive force, brutality, and the nature of the beast, if you will. Thank you.